Hey guys, so I'm back again with another story time. I have to, just before I get into it, this story kind of takes place over a 2-year time period. And a little bit about me: I work at a Canadian retail electronics store. I'm not really going to say the name, but pretty obvious which one, maybe after the story. But I work in the video game section. I should make that known. I've been working there for quite some time now. I'm still a teenager, but I've been there for a few years. It's a great part-time job. But into the story. So a couple years back, when I just first started, 2 years back, working there for about 6 months, I get a call on the department phone, and so I pick it up. It's some kid on the other line, and he's asking me if we've got Halo 3 in stock. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I hang up the phone. So he comes in later just by himself. He's about 12 years old. The kid's name is Jamal. I know. And so he gets Halo 3 and stuff. Of course, I can't sell it to him. It's rated M. So, I'm just like, whatever. I can put it on hold for you, though. You can come back with your mom, right? So I put the game on hold for him. The kid never shows up again, so, I put it away. Well, he does a week later, and he wants Halo 3 again, but he's not with his mom. So this time we put it on hold, and he says he's going to be back tomorrow. He keeps telling me he's going to be back with his mom, and I'm like, all right, Jamal, I'll see you tomorrow and stuff, right? To no avail, he never shows up, okay? So I do my thing, I put the game back away, but about a month later, I get a call on the phone. Here's where the story kind of gets interesting. So I pick up the phone, and I stay in my department, and I'm like, hey, this is Morgan speaking. And this kid goes, oh, is Morgan there? And I'm like, yeah, it's me, I'm speaking. And he's like, oh, hey Morgan, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? He's like, oh, do you know who this is? And I'm like, no. And he's like, it's Jamal. And I'm like, oh, hey Jamal, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I'm good. So do you like Halo 3? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's Halo 3, I like it. And he's like, do you like the multiplayer? It's a lot of fun, huh? And I was like, yeah. He's like, do you like killing people in it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, do you want to play together sometime? What's your gamer tag? And I'm like, I'm not really at liberty to give my gamer tag out to customers. Sorry, Jamal. And he's like, oh, okay, it's cool. And I'm like, so Jamal, do you want me to put Halo on hold again for you? And he's like, oh, no, I bought it. It's about a month ago when I was on vacation with my mom. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So is there anything I can do for you then, Jamal? Oh, no, I was just calling to say sorry. Bye. And he hangs up the phone. Weirdest thing, right? The kid calls to apologize for not coming in to buy the game that he put on hold, right? That was a pretty weird story in itself until today. 2 years later, I'm working, right? This kid comes up to me, walks up, and he goes, looks at me. Hey, do you know if... Looks at my name tag. You're Morgan, right? Yeah. And he's with his 2 friends. And he just stares at me for a bit, and he goes, oh my god, it's Morgan, guys. Morgan, this is Peter, and he introduces me to his friends. And at first, I didn't know who this guy was, right? Little 14-year-old kid kind of thing. And he's going on, and he goes, dude, we talked on the phone. And I was like, what did we talk about on the phone? And he was like, oh, it was about 2 years ago we talked on the phone. And I was like, yeah, I've worked here for a little while. He's like, do you remember me? And I was like, what did we talk about 2 years ago on the phone? About Halo 3? And I was like, wait, you're Jamal, aren't you? And he goes, oh, you remember me? Oh my god, guys, Morgan remembers me. Kid freaks out for about 30 seconds about how I remember him, whatever, right? I'm still kind of like, what is going on? But then, he calms down, he goes, so how's life? And I'm like, good. And the kid just leaves. I'm like, what is that, right? Kid comes back after 2 years. Remembers that I talked to him on the phone for apologizing for Halo 3 that he never came and picked up. It doesn't even realize it's me at first, and then apparently I'm like famous to this kid or something, and he's got to introduce me to his buddies and everything on a name-to-name basis. But yeah, I don't know, it's such a weird story. But yeah, please comment, rate, and subscribe, guys.